It's 4 a.m. and I'm standing in the shower of my Airbnb. My mind is racing. We've just moved 2,300 miles in an $800 van that we just bought last week. I'm about to drive off to a 2.5-hour drive for a new job fair. Hopelessness is racing through my mind. Do they even hire at these things? Does anybody get a job? As I pull into the venue, I'm clutching 15 resumes in my hand with a list of about 5 to 10 companies that I believe I'm qualified for. But then I see dozens, if not hundreds, of polished professionals streaming out of their cars, coming into the venue. And that doubt comes back. And then I remember 90% of getting a new job is having confidence in yourself. So I walk into the bathroom, recite my 30-second pitch, and then I walk into the room with enthusiasm to talk and pitch to anybody willing to listen. To my surprise, one company not on my list, I was able to give my pitch. They asked a few questions, and then he said, "I believe you're exactly what we're looking for." So then I land an interview, and another. Well, then COVID hits. We've just moved 2,300 miles, and now we're trapped thousands of miles from either of our families. We have 2 young children. Those doubts all creep back up with all the uncertainty in the world at that time. And then a few days go by, and then we get the call that I got a job offer. Yes! Finally, we feel some relief, and we're able to buy our first home. We have to remember that fear is always there. It's universal. It's what choice you make in the moment you feel the fear that will define you. Choosing to push through the fear is what will define the rest of your life and the next decision. Another career transition needed to happen a few years later. I leaned into this lesson that I had learned, and I sent out 30 messages to executive recruiters. With doing that, a few weeks later, one of the C-suite members responded. And after an interview, a couple more interviews, I got a job offer. Then I was reminded of this powerful lesson. Fear is just there, but you're going to have to push through over and over again at different times for different reasons in your life. And that's how you create the life that you really want, the life that you were destined to have. Now, fear is something I'm intimately connected with. As someone that struggles with both ADHD as well as clinical anxiety, I've had to learn from an early age. I suffered 2 open heart surgeries, and then I also had a speech impediment that caused years of teasing. I then as well had a chest deformity that, as I played sports, would cause years of mocking. I then also went on hundreds of dates before I found my wife and faced rejection. And then I also failed courses in both my undergraduate and my graduate degree. But fear never stopped me. It always allowed me to push forward and open a new door. I started a company. In doing that, my job was to help people find their next job. And it started as just a resume writing service, but I quickly recognized what people actually needed was they needed a career coach or a life coach, somebody willing to listen to their story. And I learned that as I listened, my job was really to find the spark that set them apart. They would be more excited, feel more confident in what they could accomplish, and not the tragedy that had just happened. You see, job loss is so personal and deep and tragic because of all the things that are associated with it. And as a career coach, it was my privilege to witness the transformation of people as they regained confidence, pushed through their fear, and had the opportunity to reset up their life at usually a better job with increased responsibility and increased pay. It was wonderful to watch people transform over years. Let me tell you about a different story, not my own. One of my dear friends is from Nigeria. Despite the challenges that he faced economically, he was able to rise above and get his what would be called the CPA in America for Nigeria, then landed a job as a financial analyst. He worked really hard, but he still wanted a better future. So he saved a lot of money as best he could. He asked for some family support and best friends, and he found a way to get to America. America is where he became a trailblazer. He was able to face these fears and got into a great university, and then he graduated valedictorian of both of his undergraduate and his graduate programs in accounting. He then, through his perseverance and resilience, had the opportunity to secure employment at Ernst & Young, one of the top 4 accounting firms of all of America. One day we were sitting down and I recounted back to him what his story really meant. As I repeated it back to him, I saw his eyes light up. I wish you could have seen it. He recognized in that moment and internalized what he had actually accomplished and how important it was to be a trailblazer. Later, 3 more of his family members would follow in his footsteps. Today, they've all graduated from universities. They've all either joined the US military or work for major companies like Amazon. They have transformed the next generations of their family because of this one young man's decision to work hard and be academically driven and do the best. Today, he's living the American dream. He has 3 children, he's married happily, and they just bought their second home in Texas. I'm very proud of him. Another friend that was one of my college roommates had the chance as a freshman in college to go play drums at Carnegie Hall in New York City, one of the greatest stages in the entire world. When we were talking about it, he said it just in passing, nonchalantly, which surprised me. I even exclaimed to him, "You've got the chance to play at Carnegie Hall? I've never met anybody that's done that." In that moment, his eyes as well and his body language shifted. He literally exhibited more confidence and recognized the extraordinary nature of what he had accomplished. The opportunity to share someone's story back to them and see that spark light up is what I find so much joy in doing this work, is helping people really figure out the power of their own story that often we're too small to share. We think that people will put us down or that they'll laugh at us. My job and my hope today is that through sharing this message is that you will think of one specific challenge or fear that you have right now holding you back. Face it, write it down, and then share it with someone you trust. Let them reflect back to you your own brilliance. But then the hard part comes. You're gonna have to take one step to confront that fear to really change your life. Show up as I did and drive with anxiety to the job fair. Call the friend, send an email, and watch doors that you never knew existed open up for you. I really believe that the opportunity to face and confront fear is the door, the catalyst even, that transforms everyone's life. Each of you sitting in here and each of you watching has had the chance at some point to have pushed through your fear and face it. What I'm inviting you to do is to do that again and see what happens. Thank you.